Hey boys, what's going on? Today we are looking at 3 games. We are going to talk about a challenger game, high challenger, so not too low. We're looking at a challenger game. We're looking at a sort of mid-rival game, and we're looking at sort of like a mid-duelist game. All Warrior HPAL versus Warrior HPAL. The purpose of this video is going to be comparing what the differences are, right? Looking at what do the different teams do, and hopefully you can kind of identify yourself in one of these brackets. I think even if you don't play Warrior or HPAL, it's going to be a useful look at sort of the difference in playstyle, the standards, stuff like that. Before I start, really want to thank everyone for subscribing. We're almost at 10k subs, 7.5 at the moment, which is absolutely nuts. If you haven't subscribed yet, I know a whole bunch of you aren't. It really does help me make more videos, have more motivation to keep doing stuff like this. And big thanks to all the Patreons. I think we've I'm pretty sure we've sold out of the top tier. You have a couple of the second tiers and obviously unlimited first tiers. We've been uploading videos there too. So check that out. So let me just quickly move this over his chat box in case he doesn't want anyone to see what he's typing. So this is our first game, which is a challenger game, right? We've sped it up a little bit to start off with, and we're going to kind of pause at key points because I know Warrior HPAL is going to be very boring. Okay, the first thing he does is he's going straight for the other warrior, right? They're doing a little bit of a duel here, back and forth. Not anything too interesting, sort of standard opening here. And we leap back and we peel straight away, which isn't a bad thing, but if you think about it, right, we haven't used our cooldowns at all, and we're already almost 45 seconds into this game, 40 seconds into this game, right? So realistically, if we had sort of Colossal Smash the HPAL at the start, we had already have Colossal Smash already. So now we Colossal Smash, and it's been 1 minute into this game. Not necessarily to too much effect as well. I think we could have done this a lot earlier. Alright, so I have we're not tracking the Warriors Colossal Smash anywhere that I can see. So I have no reference point to whether you're disarming well or you're not disarming well. But at that point, you just disarmed randomly. Like, why did you disarm? There's no reason to. He didn't Colossal Smash, didn't really do anything at that point, so holding it is not a bad idea. Right? We get another Colossal Smash here. It's not bad. It's pretty good here. But I'm going to put the speed back down to 1 again, just so we can kind of break through here, because we're sort of in the mid-game now. We get the rep here, which is really, really nice. But we get feared, and then the sack comes out. So the sack is a nice opportunity to swap. We still have parry. For some reason, we are in D stance right now. Don't really need to be in D stance. Probably could have been in B stance even now. You just parried, so like, how's the warrior ever going to hit you, right? So we really need to work on our awareness on being in B or D. We get the Colossal Smash out here, but we're still in D stance, so you're losing a huge amount of damage from doing all your goes into Colossal Smash. Here we don't kill the banner. Or did we? I can't tell. I don't know if he was in banner range. It didn't look like he was, actually. So the stun's fine. We disarm the warrior, which is okay, but like, if it goes over and your HPAL is pretty much full HP, so it might have been better to just save that for the Colossal Smash, and actually set up sort of that uptime there. Noting that, not a huge deal. People always make mistakes with this type of stuff, and I do that as well all the time. I'll disarm stupidly and regret it. We rep the warrior here, which is a very dangerous game to do, because if the warrior reflects that, you essentially lose so much while not really getting too much either. His paladin almost dies. He's around the corner, and instead, I think he gets tops himself. I think he used a fair bit there, but we are losing the mana game, so we need to start playing pretty aggressive. You get sacked here, so again, B stance. We really need to get into that B stance. So you're Noak, so you are out damaging the other warrior though, I think. Yeah, I think that's your UI, right? Can't really tell the difference sometimes. Your UI is kind of confusing a little bit. I don't think you need to have Trophy GCD for every single class. But I guess it's kind of useful. It's not bad. It's not bad. I actually kind of like that, now that I think about it. Now you get the Colossal Smash here. You disarm him, which is a good disarm, right? Because he Colossal Smashed. So instantly he, I think, trinkets that disarm. So if you sort of lined that up a while ago, I think it could have been good, but yeah, unfortunately, not looking too good. So let's break down what exactly happened at the end there. Your Paladin, I think his rally just dropped off. This swap here, we get the intervene, we get the disarm. Your Paladin has bubble, but he gets locked and dies. So that's a bit unfortunate, especially with the intervene just falling off. And you get the good disarm here and this kick. But yeah, it was the rally dropping off what really killed you guys. But overall, I think you really would have destroyed this team had you. I just got it. It's Waffen like warrior. I'm guessing, right? It's the enemy warrior. Because it's in German? Question mark. So like if you were using your B stance way more often, instead of being in D stance for all these goes, you would have outdamaged this team so much, right? So your damage optimization was a bit off. I think your goes were still pretty clean and decent. I think your disarms really need a lot of work. But that's the first clip there. Let's hop into the rival game now and compare it. All right, boys. Let's look at the rival game here. We might do a couple skips at the start. I think immediately the UI here is a bit worse. I kind of like our other guy's UI a lot. But, you know, we start on the warrior. I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing, but I guess if you might be running rep. This Blaze Storm is really, really good, though. You've stopped his go. You got joint pressure. It's nice. The intervene here is decent. I think you probably didn't need to intervene and disarm him. I think the intervene alone was good. We get feared here, and we have fear as well. So if you want to try this warrior again, you know, you probably can, but you got good pressure on this paladin right now. You ignore pain. It's fine. You got Colossal Smash coming back up pretty soon, and he's got Colossal Smash coming back up in 12. So because your disarm was not perfectly on his Colossal Smash, you're always going to miss out on that disarm now, which is pretty kind of rough. Here your paladin I think probably wants to. Oh, he bops himself, so he's fine. Didn't see that until just then. But you do have some pressure coming up. You have that fear soon too. And unfortunately, again, we let that Colossal Smash go off, but luckily, right, because he bopped the Colossal Smash, we didn't actually have to use that disarm. So actually a good point something to point out if you do coordinate with your paladin and you disarm outside of that go, because sometimes you need to disarm just regardless if they get repped or something. You know, it's good to coordinate using one of your healer's defensives and one of the Colossal Smashes. So here we're getting okay pressure, but again, similar issue. We're in D stance. There's just no one hitting you right now. The paladin hitting you, paladin's still going to kill you if you're in B stance, like D or B. It's just, when the paladin kills you behind the pillar, it's just something usually pretty slow. It's over time. You have to kind of coordinate with that with your healer. But with this Hodge, we weren't able to get too much off it, but we do get a nice crit there, and you get the Sharpen. So this paladin's under a lot of pressure. You get 2 condemns. You do have the Shatter, so you might have wanted to Shatter there if you felt like you could kill him. But you know, it's completely fine to just swap. That's a fine play. Still, we're always in D stance. Sorry. Your Iron Lord, so you're 2k damage, and you're always in D stance. So maybe if you're in B stance, I'm pretty sure you'd be out damaging the shit out of this guy. Because it's an extra 20% damage pretty much that you're missing out on throughout all these goes. All these huge crits you do that almost kill them, like that could have just been yeah, that could have been something a bit nicer. But here I think we unfortunately intervene. Where did that intervene go? So we intervened. I think your paladin kind of, I don't know who intervened first, you or did the paladin bubble? So you intervened really late here. So you had to intervene for a while. So when you see this Hodge, your paladin needs help, right? He's already at low health. If you intervened now and parried, like you did, you would be, like, your team would be fine. You wouldn't have to bubble there, so you'd be a cooldown ahead. pretty small stuff, but pretty, it makes a difference in the long term. So we're still in D stance. I know I keep mentioning this, but it's important. We see the warrior just Colossus Smash, so you could consider running over, just disarming the warrior and coming back to this guy. But you have decent pressure, so as long as your paladin's sort of communicating that he's okay, it's not a really big deal to try and have to stop that. So let's skip a little bit in, because I think we've identified a couple of the issues here. Let's look at around now. Okay, so this is kind of like the end game here. Your paladin's doing pretty well in terms of mana, 22k. I can't tell, is that your focus macro? Because I feel like your focus macro should always be the other paladin or the warrior. If you're hitting the paladin, kind of can't tell based on your UI. Yeah, I don't know what your focus is. If your focus is your paladin, I think you need to change that, just because it lets you track everything a bit better. This is okay. Again, your paladin trinkets, which is good. I would recommend getting ability team tracker, so you can track a lot more of his abilities too. Because I don't know what he has left now. Decent pressure here. We get stunned, and there's a big go. We can disarm this now, which is good. I think it's a really good disarm. You can probably pressure this guy and kill him, and now we're in B stance. So look, it feels like you're pumping now. You're catching up a lot on this dam. This pressure's decent. You have a sharpen. He doesn't really have anything left, does he? No, he's kind of out of gas. But your paladin is too. You should intervene now. Nice intervene parry. Probably need, like, if you just intervened a couple seconds earlier, your paladin wouldn't have taken so much damage. And I think here, like, piercing howl as well. You can slow this warrior. You need to do everything you can. And you had stun for the warrior too. So even if you just stun the warrior, like, you guys are so close there, the warrior has no trinket. He just stunned the paladin, right? You have stun on the warrior, but you have focus on your paladin, I think. So, like, because you're focusing your paladin, I think this is the focus, right? I have no idea. You just lose that. You had stun, you had disarm coming up soon too. So you could have stunned him into disarm, and then you would have killed the paladin, even if you just feared the paladin while you did that. Anyway, let's check the final clip. Okay, this clip is one of mine from a while ago at about 2200 MR. I think it was from like January, so kind of ages ago. But yeah, so obviously I actually made a lot of mistakes when I went through this. Made a lot of mistakes I didn't really have to, and I was Kieran at the time. So to begin with, I should have probably Colossal Smashed around now. I get disarmed, but I didn't actually use anything yet. But I get bopped on it because we have a go now. And I get the Blade Storm immediately, and we start cleaving them really, really hard. But I could have Blade Stormed a bit earlier, and I think probably forced the warrior lower. The Paladin's sort of moving away, so I swapped to the warrior for a bit. But probably would have been better to just stay on the Paladin. This is pre-Divine Thing nerf. This warrior's about to pop off, and I could have disarmed him way earlier than what I did. I reflect the rep here, because he's running rep. I don't know. This is when a lot of paladins were running rep, so I've got Overwatch. So I'm hitting into this warrior for a bit, and we get the nice hodge here, and we do the swap, right? I've got sweeping up. Fortunately, we get disarmed, right? But the disarm is not on a Colossus Smash, so we're kind of cruising. Which is why it's like so important to try and line those up as much as possible, especially if your team is the one who's getting pressured. If you're kind of pressuring them and you can just ignore that Colossal Smash, not a big deal. But here I stun the warrior because I see the warrior's kind of popping off in my paladin, and he's calling. He like that little bit of space. Now he's got so much room to just kind of kite. This warrior's hitting me now, and we're going to trade in cleave. But I'm doing a lot more cleave than he is. He is condemned, and this is when I was playing Kieran, so I'm Kieran at the moment. And I get stunned here, and the Colossus Smash is about to happen in, I think, about a second. And I disarm before the Colossus Smash, so big mistake from me. I kind of want to try and bait that Colossus Smash out first, but I get bopped on my sort of disarm here, which is kind of nice. Because I get this Blade Storm on both, and then we get the stun here, and they're both kind of low right now. So we were able to like lock down that final kill and close up the game. But yeah, still same mistakes that you guys made. But I think the biggest difference was that I cleaved more. I did a lot more damage than the other warrior, and I was able to sort of connect, coordinate with my paladin, use the stuns. I didn't even fear or trinket anything at the end there. It's just a matter of, I guess, like, you know, connecting to both of them and giving room to my paladin as much as possible. So I was like throwing slows, and essentially just trying to peel the warrior as much as I needed to, but not overly peel, because my paladin has every button in the game. There's no reason for me to stop hitting the paladin, their paladin, to try and line something up there. So yeah, hopefully that was kind of insightful for you guys. Just one quick one. I couldn't find any other clips I had. Didn't have too many warrior HPL versus warrior HPL. But if you are a high rated warrior, especially in 2's, please hit me up, because I'd love to feature one of your clips in something like this. So guys, hope you enjoyed this. We saw like the main difference being, I think, damage, which is a lot on B stance and your rotation. I think in the other games, warrior versus warrior, at the lower ratings, I think it makes such a big difference if you're able to disarm those colossal smashes, especially if your paladin isn't playing aggressive, because the game's going to go out for longer. So try and incorporate some of the things I pointed out in these games. I hope it was useful. And we have the LFG video coming out very soon. There's so many hours of footage to edit, so I haven't really had the time recently. But if you are interested in watching the VODs, they are subscriber only, but what I might try and do is maybe take that off for a week when we hit the goal, so everyone can kind of go through and watch the last 2 weeks of footage, if you've been sort of meaning to, and download it or do whatever you need to do. And then I'll put that back on later. Still try and work that out. Thanks again to all my patrons. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and take it easy, boys.